The first knock comes polite. That is how she knows it is not for her. Polite knocks belong to neighbors, deliveries, and people with reasons. She is not expecting any of those at 11:30 on a Thursday night, barefoot in a kitchen that still smells like burned garlic and regret. She freezes anyway, with her hand wrapped around a drink she has no interest in finishing. The second knock is louder and more confident. It sounds like it knows she is home. She tells herself it is nothing, that it is someone at the wrong address or someone drunk, high, or both. The house creaks as it settles, old wood complaining about age and weather and being asked to hold together one more night. The third knock does not bother with manners. It lands hard and flat-palmed against the center of the door. She sets the drink down. "Go away," she says, but she does not say it loudly enough to count. The knocking answers her by moving. It does not get faster or slower. It gets smarter. It shifts to the side door by the laundry room, where 3 sharp hits land, followed by a pause, and then 2 more. The sound feels like a rhythm being tested. Her heart tightens into an animal drumbeat that does not care about logic or pride. She grabs her phone and then remembers there is no one she wants to call badly enough to explain this. The knocking stops. Silence stretches thin and waiting. Then she hears the handle turn. It does not rattle. It turns slowly, as if patience will eventually be rewarded. "That's locked," she says, louder now. A voice answers from the porch. It is male, calm and amused. "Not for much longer," the voice says. She backs away, every nerve lit. She thinks about the knife in the drawer, the window over the sink, and the neighbor who sleeps with the television on. The door bangs open with a sound that feels too big for the house. He stands there grinning, with hair too perfect for the hour, and a jacket that looks like it belongs to a better story. "Jesus," she says, "what the hell are you doing?" "You didn't answer," he says, as if that explains everything. He steps inside without asking, because men like this treat thresholds like suggestions. "You can't just come in," she says. He looks around. "You have good taste," he says. She reaches for the knife. He notices and laughs. "Relax," he says. "If I wanted to hurt you, we wouldn't be talking." The sentence lands wrong and heavy. It sounds like a promise someone else will have to keep. "Get out," she says. He does not move. Instead, he starts talking fast, like they are already mid-conversation. He tells her about the bar down the street, about the song on the jukebox that reminded him of her, even though he does not know her name, and about how sometimes you knock long enough that the door stops mattering. She realizes then that he is more than drunk or high. He is committed. "Why me?" she asks. He shrugs. "You were here," he says. That is the worst answer. She throws an empty bottle at him. It shatters against the wall near his head, glass exploding like punctuation. He flinches, surprised and delighted. "There it is," he says. "I knew you had some fire." She lunges for the knife. He lunges too. The next few seconds smear into noise and impact. The table flips. Her elbow slams into something solid. The knife skitters uselessly across the floor. They crash into the living room and knock over a lamp that goes dark with a final pop. Moonlight spills through the window and paints everything silver and wrong. He grabs her wrist. She bites him hard. He howls, more shocked than hurt, and staggers back while clutching his hand. "You're crazy," he says, laughing through the pain. She does not answer. She runs. She runs out the front door, down the steps, and into the night barefoot and shaking. She does not look back. She can hear him behind her, not exactly chasing, but calling out. "Hey," he shouts, "don't be like that." She barrels into the street and flags down the first car she sees, arms raised like surrender. The car screeches to a stop. The driver stares at her, wild-eyed and bleeding. She gets in and says, "Drive." Now, they drive. She watches the house shrink in the rearview mirror, the porch light flickering like it cannot decide what side it is on. She sees him standing there with his hands on his hips, shaking his head like this did not go the way he planned. An hour later, wrapped in a borrowed blanket under fluorescent lights, she listens to a police officer explain procedure and options, and how some people do not respect boundaries. She nods. She signs. She waits. Later, alone again, she hears it. The knock is not on a door. It is inside her head. It is soft, persistent, and rhythmic. She knows now that some people knock because they want in. She knows others knock because they cannot stand being told no. She locks every door she owns that night and checks them twice, and then 3 times. When sleep finally comes, it does not come quietly. It comes banging.
This story appears in the book Classic Rock Fiction, Short Stories Inspired by the Greatest Music Ever Recorded, available on Amazon. Story written by the Midnight DJ.